Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. Sorry about that, I'm a bit late. Microphone issues, as always. I hope you've had a good day. I apologise for keeping you waiting. Eli, David, good to see you. Want to get into Balogun, want to get into David Raya. We've got a new game to play on top of Guess the Gooner, because, you know, what could be better than more games? Trappy, good to see you as well. Holdini to West Ham. I've not seen that. I've not seen Holding to West Ham. Let me have a goosey gander at that. Do you know what? It's something that wouldn't massively surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. There's nothing really. I can't really say anything about that. Hello. Good to see you all. So look, first of all, following Balogun. This came out just before I went on live. By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, you want to watch on YouTube, get involved in the chat. The link is in my bio. Good to see you all. Aren't there AI tools that can do all that now? Yeah, but no AI tool can prevent me from unplugging the microphone accidentally. Oh, the Wi-Fi dropped. Sorry. Rory, did you see Inter said Balogun was too expensive? Yes, so I want to get into this. So following Balogun to Inter Milan, Inter have they wanted to pay around 35 to 40 million euros. Arsenal weren't having it. And basically, Inter Milan dropped out of the race. So last night, Fabrizio tweeted, Inter have currently stopped talks for following Balogun, as the American striker is considered too expensive. They've moved on to Scamacca and other people. And then Chris Wheatley said today, following Balogun has been training on his own. It's an interesting one. I think his time is coming to an end, and it will only come to an end if an adequate bid is received. Arsenal want in excess of 40 million for Balogun. That's on top of the extra add-ons and sell-on clauses. The potential Balogun has as a player is really exciting and limitless. So basically, he's not going to go to Inter Milan, and because of that, according to Ben Jacobs this afternoon, who is a good source, following Balogun has asked Arsenal to drop their asking price. He's already said he won't go on loan. Inter felt that 45 million was too high and have bid for West Ham's Scamacca. They haven't entirely ruled out signing Balogun though. So, yeah, we're in this position, and this could get messy, where Balogun wants to leave. He won't go out on loan, and he wants, you know, he basically wants Arsenal to lower our asking price so that someone like Inter Milan can buy him. Well, I'm sorry, Balogun, but that's not how it works. You know, it could really become a messy situation. I don't think Balogun's the sort of player that will sit around quietly and let things happen. But equally, I'm sorry, but if Inter Milan can't afford him, they can't afford him. That's the way it works. Third shirt thoroughly baited today. The third shirt looks nice. This is why I've always been flow out. Doesn't want to fight. F him. Ross Lawman coming in big, coming in hot. But I don't, you know, I disagree with the final sentence, but I don't disagree that he is a bit of a problem. Haven't seen anything on Raya. How much would we be looking at and where would he fit in? So we'd be looking at 30 million. Brentford want 40 million. And where he'd fit in, well, that's the discussion, right? He's not going to replace Aaron Ramsdale, certainly not straight away anyway. He'd be a replacement for Matt Turner. Borges to West Ham being hijacked, thoughts? Borges to Ajax is Kudus' replacement. There's a few of you talking about Borges. I don't even know if Borges is how you pronounce it, it's probably not. Exclusive, Ajax are set to hijack West Ham's deal to sign Man City top talent Carlos Borges. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place. Player will be in Amsterdam for medical tests soon, as sources close to Ajax confirm. West Ham close, but Ajax hijacked the deal. And yeah, that seemingly would be a Mohamed Kudus replacement for Ajax. Question is, where's Kudus going? The worry is that it's actually Chelsea and not Arsenal. In terms of updates on Mohamed Kudus, there's not been a whole lot. In all honesty, there's not been a lot on Kudus of late. So I don't know if, getting Ajax. Yeah, I mean, it's quite amusing to see. It's quite amusing to see this happening to West Ham. But yeah, there's still really nothing on Kudus to Arsenal. Nothing more than there was previously. Arsenal have held talks. Chelsea have held talks. And I guess we'll see what happens. But this might mean that it speeds up a bit. Am I going to the Monaco game? No. I didn't think I was going to be here for the Monaco game, so I didn't get a ticket when they went on sale. So I'm gonna stream it instead. We'll be live on here for the Monaco game tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe if you've not done already, and tune into that. Hoyland to United basically confirmed. Fair enough. My chat isn't updating. Can only see my comments. Try refreshing, Ross. Try refreshing. Not sure why that's happening. Who do you think will start in the Monaco game tomorrow? We will talk about that later on in the stream. But I wanted to go back to Balogun because ultimately this is going to be one of, if not our biggest sale this summer. We need the money. And it's tricky, right? Because the market dictates how much he's worth. If no one's coming in for him at 45, 50 million, then the market dictates that he's not worth that, and you've got to lower the asking price. Now, obviously, Balogun's asked that we do lower the asking price. If we sell him within the Premier League, maybe we get a bit more. Crystal Palace is still an option, potentially, for both himself and Nketiah. The Monaco game's at 6 p.m. tomorrow. If Scamacca signs for Inter, could we sell Balogun to West Ham? Possibly, but again, I just don't think they'd spend the money on it. Which would be the problem. And so, yeah, we'll see how the Balogun situation develops, but it's not a great position to be in. David Raya, an update. Fabrizio said they've had positive conversations on the player side. Raya wants the move and prefers Arsenal over Bayern. Now it's important to understand how much Arsenal want to invest in a new goalkeeper and how much they get from Matt Turner possibly going to Nottingham Forest. The domino is starting, and I think this week will be crucial to understand how it could be completed. So that's Fabrizio. So ultimately, like he says, this is a domino effect waiting to happen. Forest will need to buy Matt Turner, which will free us up to go in for David Raya, and then we'll see that get done. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Sorry, Ross. Has anyone else got issues with comment section not loading? Maybe PSG come in for Balogun if Mbappe goes. Yeah, there are opportunities later in the window, and this is what you've got to see as well, right? For a player like Balogun, later in the window, his price will go up again because he is a very good striker, and teams will be, potentially have even started the season and realised, okay, we need a striker. Harry and Eli both saying that their chat's fine. Yeah, people are saying their chat's fine, Ross. So I do think that is a you problem, unfortunately. Tavares future. Honestly, no idea with Tavares. We've not heard anything in a while, actually. We've not heard anything in a while on Nuno Tavares. As it stands, he's still at the club. So, yeah. There's very, very little on Nuno Tavares even in the last week. So, just another one of those players we've got to get gone. I think we're going to win the Community Shield because Man City away is worse away than at home. And now we have improved squad. I think we're going to win. I think we've got a good chance of winning the Community Shield just because I think we're a bit ahead of City in terms of pre-season. $5 from Aaron, who said, I've got to go, but I hope you have a good stream. Glad to see you yesterday on the Football Terrace. Thank you, Aaron, and it was good to see you giving me a bit of support on the Football Terrace as well. It was greatly appreciated. I don't know if anyone else caught the Football Terrace yesterday. Let me know if you did and what you thought of it. Hopefully be doing more of those in the future. Community Shield's better than the treble. Yeah. If we win it, it is. So yeah, with David Raya, I think the situation, again, I was talking on the Football Terrace last night, and I felt like I was battling a bit against people saying that David Raya will come in and replace Aaron Ramsdale, that you don't buy David Raya unless it's with the intention of starting him. And I just disagree. I cannot see the logic behind the new contract that we gave Aaron Ramsdale if the plan was just to go and buy David Raya and start him instead. That Chelsea fan on the football terrace on Gabriel is a horrendous take. Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, this is the thing, though. I mean, even with that, within our fan base, there's an issue of people not realising how good Gabriel is. Outside of our fan base, there's a serious issue with people just not comprehending what Gabriel does for the team and how important he is. Yeah, I mean, him saying that we need... That a centre-back is a more important signing for us, as if we haven't got, like, 7 players that can play a centre-back. I don't see 40 million on a keeper, not to start. It's not going to be 40 million, right? So Arsenal want to get it done for 30 million. And the whole premise of this deal happening is that we can get David Raya at a bit of a discount, and that's why it's a good market opportunity. And for 30 million, well, that's what? It's only a few million more than we paid for Ramsdale. So the other way of looking at it would be, well, why would you have spent 25 or however much it was on Ramsdale and given him a new contract? Either way, we're going to have 2 goalkeepers at the club that are earning what a top 4 starting goalkeeper would be earning. So I do just think I think he'll push. I think he'll push Ramsdale, and one of them will come out on top. Jake, good to see you, no problem. Rory, if we sell Eddie and Flo, do we need another 9? Long term, yes. Short term, no. If we sell Eddie and Balogun this summer, I think we're fine next season with Jesus, with Trossard, with Havertz, potentially even Smith Rowe in a false 9. I think we're fine next season. I think long term, we'd then look to bring in a different profile, a bigger striker. You just know, if Gabriel played for any of the other top 5s, he'd be one of the best centre-backs in the league. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't feel Brentford say yes for 30. Probs will be 35. Don't know if we need. Well, the issue with that, from Brentford's perspective, is that they're running out of opportunities. Spurs were in for him, didn't want to pay 40 million, dropped out, got a different keeper. Man United went and got Onana. Chelsea don't want to spend 40 million on David Raya. They're going to go for Robert Sanchez from Brighton. Bayern, all of their eggs are in the Harry Kane basket at the moment. They wanted to see if they could do a Raya loan. It didn't work. So they're running out of opportunities, ultimately, and they will get to the point of they have to sell him this window. If they don't, he leaves on a free. And so if they're, Brentford don't have a lot of money in general. They're not a rich club at all. Ultimately, if it comes down to 30 million or nothing, they'll take 30 million. So I do think that we'll end up negotiating quite a good fee for him. 55 million package for Raya and Tony. Who says no? Who says no? Tavares as a Saka backup? No. The thought of Nuno playing off the wing has crossed my mind, but he's so far off the level of Bukayo Saka, it's not even funny. It just wouldn't be worth it. Rory, do you think one of Raya or Ramsdale leaves in a few years? Both number 1 keepers, and want to start for their nation. Yeah. I think, genuinely, I think you could see it at the end of next season, whichever one of them isn't the number 1 leaves, and you get the money back for them. Injury update on Reece, Cini and Rice. Rice is fine. Reece should be fine. And I think Zinchenko should be fine. He's due to play 5 minutes on Saturday in that Ukraine game at Stamford Bridge. So I'm fairly sure all of them are fine. Bottom half finish for Spurs this season. We can dream. Balogun plus 25 for Raya and Tony. Balogun plus 25 for Raya and Tony. Nah, because that effectively means you're paying you'd be paying like 65, 70, depending on what we value Balogun at. I mean, that's such a difficult deal to do, though, because everyone's valuations of each of those players is going to be completely different. It makes it a very... generally speaking, swap deals or player plus cash deals don't get done very often because it's effectively, instead of in most negotiations, right, there's one player involved and you just have to come to an agreement on what that one player involved is worth. If you've got a swap deal or a player plus cash deal, then you've got 2 different players that you have to try and agree on what they're worth. So it's difficult. If Spurs don't get a new manager, I don't spend a lot of money. I think they will get relegated in the next 5 to 10 years. Possibly. To be honest, I think that Ange Postecoglou could do all right. I think Ange Postecoglou could do all right if he's given time. Rory, thoughts on the EPL taking the World Cup route in a bid to deal with time wasting? Interesting one. Look, so there's two perspectives on this, right? From an Arsenal perspective, this is very good. If you're not familiar, basically the Premier League is going to adopt the World Cup timekeeping rules, which means next season we're going to see 8, 10, 12 minutes of added time in most games. I think it's for, what was it, free kicks, celebrations. Basically, they're just going to add way more time on for delays. And for teams like City and Arsenal, this is very good. For teams like Newcastle, Everton, it's not good. And from an Arsenal perspective, obviously I'm very happy with it. There were games last season where it was infuriating the amount of time that was being wasted. And it will be good to see that get added on at the end. From a general football perspective, it's not actually that good. I don't mind the gamesmanship of, if you're a massive underdog, I don't mind doing these little things here and there just to try and give yourself an advantage over the better teams. And also, I just think it's going to be like, it makes the games weird because you get into the 90th minute and actually it's the equivalent of being in like the 75th minute. And so it's difficult to kind of gauge the excitement. Like you could be 2-0 up in the 90th minute and actually be nowhere near done and dusted, which could lead to much more excitement. But if you're on if you get the bad end of that stick, it's going to be frustrating. So, Rory, do you think we need two player or three players to come in more this transfer window? I think two. I think David Raya and Kudus would be perfect. Truthfully, I just think Kudus would be perfect. David Raya is a bit of a cherry on top that we don't necessarily need, but Kudus is the big one for me. I really would love us to bring in Kudus. Would you sell Tierney as well as Balogun if it meant we could sign Raya and Kudus? Yeah. I think that would be an upgrade for sure. David Dean, big advocate for reducing match length, but stop clock when ball goes out of play. That's what I'd prefer. I would way prefer it if a football match effectively became 60 minutes long. So basically, last season, depending on which team you were, each game, the ball was in play for roughly 55, 56 minutes. The ideal is to have the ball in play for about 60 minutes, right? That would be normal. So I would way rather make it a 60-minute game, but every time the ball is dead, the clock stops. And then you know exactly how long is left all the time. They do it in rugby, and it's one of the things that I think in rugby works much, much better. There's no reason not to do it. We have all of the technology to stop and start the clock. And then you do the thing where as soon as the clock ticks over 60 minutes, the next time the ball goes dead, that's the end of the game, which is very exciting. So yeah, that's actually what I'd rather do, but for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to move to that. Thoughts on Sal linked to us? I've not seen the links. It would be an interesting one. I'm not sure I'd be that keen on it, depending on the price. I'm not sure Sal upgrades us at all, really. It would be one of those. It would be all right depth, but stopped in American football too. Soon as it's 60 minutes, player would just commit a foul though. Oh no, so the way it works in rugby, I see your point. The way it works in rugby is that it has to be, the ball has to go dead in a way that's not like that, basically. So you can't give away a penalty or anything like that. Like if you gave away a penalty, that play would be made. But if it goes out for a throw-in or a goal kick or anything like that, then that would be the end. Guess the Gooner is coming soon. Don't you worry. But yeah, that's what I actually do. Arteta squad depth is something you'd see us fans create on Football Manager and FIFA. Crazy how it's a reality. It is. I've been looking at our squad depth over the last few days, and it's massive. It's massive. And I tweeted this earlier, right? Let me know what you think. But so far this summer, Arsenal's squad has improved quite considerably. City's squad has weakened. I think that, they've lost Gundogan, they've lost Mahrez, they've brought in Kovacic. That's a weakening of that squad. So based on the fact that, you know, we came close and arguably should have won the league last season, there's no reason that we shouldn't be right up there, you know, in conversations to win the title this season. We've improved. City have... yeah, and look, the window isn't closed, and City could still sign Gvardiol and whoever else, but City have a 40-goal striker, though. Arsenal don't. They do. You're not wrong. How did it go for Spurs having Harry Kane and however many goals he scored last season? How did that go? Do you think our fans are more deluded than the average PL fan base? No. So I'll tell you right. When it comes to fan delusion, because I've seen this before, right? The bigger the club, the bigger the fan base, the more deluded fans there are in total, right? Deluded fans tend to appear more on social media than your average Joe, because the deluded tweets or TikToks or whatever go viral because they're deluded. So the bigger the club, the bigger the fan base, the more of those deluded posts there are, the more often you're going to see deluded posts from a certain fan base, the more you're going to think that that fan base is more delusional. It's why a lot of people go, oh, well, City fans aren't that deluded. Well, it's because there just aren't many of them. That you don't see as many of their deluded takes. Actually, if you took a proportion of them, if you took of all of the City fans, how many of them are deluded, well, then you might get a different answer. Arsenal has an insanely strong social media fan base. Well, this is the thing, right? Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United just have the bigger fan bases, the bigger online presence, and therefore you see more deluded fans from those clubs. It's just the way it is. We should bring in an experienced goalkeeper like Navas. I don't think we need that. I think you bring in Raya, you've got a potential to upgrade Ramsdale, maybe. Bringing in Navas, I just don't think that's I don't think that's someone you need in the dressing room, to be honest. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you an ex or current Arsenal player's career path minus the Arsenal part of it, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it correct in the YouTube chat gets the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community and the wider football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards, get ready. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to get involved, the link in my bio on TikTok will take you to YouTube. Get involved in the comments. So, this ex or current Arsenal player started at Beersheva. They went to Maccabi Haifa. They went to Racing. They went to West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea, West Ham on loan, QPR, Maccabi Haifa, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Petah Tikva, and Jerusalem. Who is the player? Who is the player? For some reason, my YouTube chat on there has stopped loading. So that's good. Okay. I'm gonna have to go onto YouTube. For some reason it stopped. For some reason the comments have stopped, so I don't know who got it first. Oh, they've also stopped on YouTube. This is odd. Lots of people have got it on TikTok. For some reason on YouTube, no comments are appearing. Not on my dashboard or on YouTube, and I don't know why. Hello? I'm confused. Error, try again. Well, something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. I can't comment either. Yeah, for some reason on YouTube, no one can comment. It just says error, try again. So, so that's the end of Guess the Gooner, I suppose, and potentially the live stream. I don't know what's happening. Let me leave and come back. No, I don't know if that'll work anyway. Let me Has that worked? We're back. We're back. We're back. Now, so now you're all saying Ben Ayoun. It was Yossi Ben Ayoun, but you all had time to go and Google it whilst the comments weren't working. So, like, technically, the first comment that came through saying Ben Ayoun was Jake Madaford. So, on a technicality of a legend who recommended you, Jake Madaford has won with Yossi Ben Ayoun. Baptiste Kerr came second and Oscar came third. I feel like this has not gone well. Because I don't actually know who said it first. New Gooner. Right, let me get another one. It was Yossi Ben Ayoun, though, and credit to anyone who actually got that without going and Googling it whilst I was fiddling around with that. I don't know what happened then. I don't know why that was all messed up. Let's think of another player. Who should we go for? I don't know if I've done this player before. I don't think I have. I don't think I've done this player before. All right, here we go. This is your Guess the Gooner. This is your new Guess the Gooner. Fingers on keyboards. So this player started at Charlton. They went on loan to Eastbourne. They went on loan to West Ham. They went on loan to Birmingham. They went to Nottingham Forest, Melbourne City on loan, and Newcastle in Australia on a free transfer. Who is the player? Charlton, Eastbourne on loan, West Ham on loan, Birmingham City on loan, Forest, Melbourne City, and Newcastle. I guess that's Newcastle Jets. And who is first? Someone got it correct. It was... It is Carl Jenkinson, and it was Osman Ali that got it first. Congratulations to Osman Ali. William Salibak was second. Who else have we got? Eli Pendry was third. Jake Madaford was fourth. And Drakkar was fifth. So there you go. That was Guess the Gooner. It was Carl Jenkinson, the guy who scored the most amazing own goal in history. Congratulations. Now on to Guess the Non-Gooner. We'll get through this rapidly. Guess the Non-Gooner. Never played for Arsenal. And I'll give you their full career path. Fingers on your keyboards. This player started at CSKA Sofia. They went to Bayer Leverkusen, Tottenham, Man United, Fulham, Monaco, PAOK Salonika, and Kerala Blasters. CSKA Sofia, Bayer Leverkusen, Tottenham, Man United, Fulham, Monaco, PAOK Salonika, Kerala Blasters. It is indeed Dimitar Berbatov, and the first person to get Berbatov was Beast Destroyer. Got Berbatov first. Congratulations to Beast Destroyer. SS9 was second. VV Vlad was third. Ethan Udall was fourth. And clearly Berbatov autocorrects to verbatim in a lot of people's keyboards, because lots of people were saying verbatim. But there we go. Congratulations. And now it's time for the new game. Now I'm going to try and make this work. Now we're doing this as a team. This is let me get it up here. You might have played this already. It's called Crossover Grid. And it's this. What's the best screen to do? This. So basically, if you don't know how to play this game, we have to come up with players that have played for both of the clubs or the country for each cross-section. And the idea is to get players that the least amount of people that play this game have gone for. So, for example, Everton and Chelsea, someone that's played for Everton and Chelsea. Who has played for Everton and Chelsea? Good question. Who's played for Everton and Chelsea? Yeah, Lukaku, Ross Barkley. Zuma. Did Zuma play for Everton? Do you know what? Zuma might be the shout. We're going to go Zuma. We're going Zuma. Kurt Zuma. 7.4%. That's good, boys. That's good. That is good. You normally want to be under 15% for each of them, if you can be. Next up, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Not Crystal Palace. Chelsea and Aston Villa. What are we thinking? Lots of people saying Eto for Everton and Chelsea. Could have been a shout. Danny Drinkwater. Did Drinkwater do a... Bertrand Duff? Bertrand Traore? Bertrand Traore is a shout. We're going Bertrand Traore. 4%. 4%, boys. That is good. And then Chelsea, Brazil. What about Ramirez? Remember Ramirez? There are lots of them. Felipe Luis, David Luiz, Lucas Piazon, Lucas Kennedy. Oh, Oscar. There's a lot of them. Do you know what? I'm torn between Kennedy and Piazon. What are we saying? Kennedy or Piazon? Andre, who just signed. Pato. I'm gonna go Piazon. 6.7%. That's not too bad. That's a solid top row. That is a solid top row, boys. Right. Everton and Liverpool. Now, there can't have been many of them just because of the rivalry. And the ones that there would have been, I guess, would have been quite well known. Abel Xavier. Connor Cody. Did Connor Cody do... Was Connor Cody like an academy player at Liverpool? I don't know how much... Connor Cody's a good shout. Did Carragher ever play for Everton? Is Carragher an option? I think Cody's too common. David Johnson, Longren, Kevin Sheedy. I mean, some of these names I don't even know. Liverpool and Everton. Don Hutchinson, David Johnson. People are saying David Johnson. I don't even know the fella, but we're going for it. Which David Johnson? The one born in 1976 or the one born in 1951? Which David Johnson? He used to play for Ipswich. Carragher didn't play for Everton. Fair enough. He used to support Everton though, right? The one born in 76. We're going for... No, it was wrong! It was wrong! We're on to Liverpool and Villa anyway. We got that wrong. I feel bad. Big Black Bulls has been going for Xavier for a long time and I ignored him. I apologise. Liverpool and Villa. Benteke. Barmby played for both. Should have gone Barmby. Villa and Liverpool. I mean, Coutinho, Benteke. I feel like they're quite obvious ones. Emil Heskey. Andy Carroll. Did Andy Carroll play for Villa? I think Emil Heskey is a good shout. James Milner. Peter Crouch. I'm thinking Heskey. I'm going Heskey. 3.9%. That's a belter, boys. That is a belter. Right, Liverpool, Brazil. Obviously, you got Coutinho, Bobby Firmino. Who else is there? Brazilian and Liverpool. Alisson. Lucas Leiva. Who else is there? Arthur. Do you reckon Arthur will be low or not? Fabio Aurelio. Do you reckon Arthur will be low? Or do you think he'll go under the radar because he was basically barely there? We're gonna go Arthur Melo. We're gonna go Arthur Melo. Well, I don't know what his name is on here because I put in Arthur. Is it Melo? No. Am I spelling his name wrong? Is it just Arthur? 7.3%. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right, Everton, West Ham. There's so many players that have played for Everton and West Ham. Enna Valencia. Enna Valencia is a good shout, you know. Any others that people think will be low? Zuma, Jelavic, Bilic. Enna Valencia, do we think will be the lowest? Right, we're going Valencia. We're going Enna Valencia. 15%. That's not great. That's not great. Next up, Villa and West Ham. I don't think you can use two players twice. I don't think you can use the same player twice, which is why I've not done Zuma twice. Danny Ings for Villa and West Ham. Too recent, I feel like. Nah, Danny Ings is too recent. Who else is there? Carlos Sanchez. I don't know. Villa and West Ham. I'm struggling. Zabaleta. Did Zabaleta... Robbie Keane? Robbie Keane's rogue. I don't even know. Did Robbie Keane play for both of them? Screw it, we're going for it. Oh, it's a banger. Shout out to Beast Destroyer, 2.9% on Robbie Keane. I did not know. I did not know. And then West Ham and Brazil. West Ham and Brazil. Felipe Anderson. Who's the left back? Didn't have a left back. Brazilian left back. Paqueta. Oh yeah, Paqueta's too obvious. Nene. Now watch me whip. Oh, what was that? The final one. I mean, we've done well. It's annoying that we got a massive score for the one that we got wrong. But overall, that was a good effort, boys. That was a good effort, boys. Congratulations. There were some absolute shouts in there. Connor Cody, could have been one. That was impressive, though. That was a good effort. I apologise. If you were watching on TikTok, that would have been terrible because you wouldn't have been able to see what was going on. So I can only apologise. Paulista. Don't know if he ever did. What's the website? It's called crossovergrid.com. And then it's the soccer option. It's called crossovergrid.com. In fact, I'll put it in the comments. I don't think that's something that we'll do every day because it's a bit slow. But we might just whip it out from time to time when there's not a lot to talk about. In terms of Monaco tomorrow, like I said, I'm not going to be at the game, but I am going to be streaming on here. So we'll be streaming the game on here, and I'm excited for it. I'm expecting it to be pretty much, you know, as close to our strongest lineup as we can get, and yeah, I think we'll, you know, it'll be Ramsdale in goal. Obviously, I think we'll see Timber at right back again, Saliba, Gabriel. I still don't think we'll see Zinchenko start. In fact, actually, I'd like to see Ben White and Timber again. I'd like to see Ben White at right back and Timber at left back again. Hopefully Rice is back in. I'd like to see Rice and Partey. We've not seen it yet. We've seen Partey and Havertz. We've seen Rice and Havertz. We've not seen Rice and Partey yet. With Ødegaard, and then obviously Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli would be ideal. And it should be quite a good game. I'm going to see Oppenheimer now. Enjoy. Very good film. Very good film. Would you have Kai Havertz in the starting lineup for the start of the season, or would you have Trossard, Smith-Rowe as the 8 to begin with? So in big games against big opposition and good midfields, I'd actually have none of them. I'd have Partey and Rice. In those other games, I think it's between... I mean, it's between all three. It really is between all three at the moment. I think Havertz will start. But it's between all three. What time is Monaco? 6 p.m. UK time tomorrow is the Monaco game. I'm not streaming the Community Shield game. I'll be at Wembley for that one. But I will make a video after it. So I might even be live. Depending on what time I get back from Wembley, I'll either go live or I'll make a video. But that's not until Sunday. Rory, I know you were scared of Chelsea and us challenging for the title. Can't wait to beat you at the Emirates. Come on. Surely you don't believe you're competing for the title this season. Like, I think in a couple of years' time, the amount of youngsters you've got, you could put something together that could compete for a title. Next season, you're nowhere near top 4. You're nowhere near top 4. And that's not me trying to wind anyone up. But your squad's nowhere near. It's just not. I swear it was earlier last year. What, the Community Shield? I think it's at 3. I think it's at 3. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream. If you've enjoyed it, please do subscribe if you're not already. Smash a like on the stream. And have a fantastic evening. And I'll see you all for the Monaco game tomorrow. Goodbye.